Can I have 2 number 2 meals with cheese? 10-piece McNugget on its own with a couple barbecue sauces? I think. Here, you too.
Thank you. These stories that we are about to read out are alleged. Don't sue me. This is just a fake acting show. I worked at a sub pizza ice cream dollar store in high school. It was always so dirty and gross.
That's all it was?
No, that's just the intro.
I want specific examples.
Can we just talk about how this place is a pizza sub ice cream dollar store?
What?
Like, what does that even mean?
It actually sounds kind of good, though.
The nastiest part was the frozen yogurt machine. No one would clean it properly after use. They would just spray it with warm water, creating the perfect habitat for mold to grow. I will never eat froyo from that place again after seeing the cold colonies that grew.
Ew, herd colonies?
Mold colonies, I read that wrong.
I thought, like, a word for, like, mold was curds. I just went with it.
I'm used to mold because didn't our house growing up always have mold in the basement? Right?
I don't think so, because, like, I think it spreads fast if you get mold in your house. That's what I heard.
Then I made that up. Hey!
I asked, like, my landlord, there's, like, water damage, will it get mold? And he said, oh, no, like, trust me, there's nothing to worry about. He said, like, if it gets mold, like, you'll know. Like, it spreads. But a moldy froyo machine, that is pretty gross.
I'm not grossed out yet, though. Like, I'm not affected.
But I think the main thing I got from that story is $1 pizza sub ice cream place. That sounds kind of like fun. Okay, this is just gross. I worked for so many years as a lead at a famous Texas food place, fast food place. Think Orange. I've never been to Texas, so that's not ringing anything. I transferred to another store because I had just moved to a different part of town. This store was right across the street from a training center for managers, so you'd think it would get a gold standard. When I tell you this was the worst restaurant I have ever worked at, the audacity to be roach infested. Somehow I never saw creeping into the lobby. Oh, so it was roach infested, but they never went into the lobby, so the customers didn't know. The general manager told me, oh well, it's not our fault. The inside of the walls are infested and there's nothing we can do. I've had roaches fall from the ceiling onto the table where we wrapped food. Too many times I found roaches in the veggies just hanging out. Needless to say, I never ate there and I quit the company altogether after a few months. It needs to be demolished.
I mean, that is disgusting because I just hate any of those bugs. Like June bugs, that's just disgusting.
Oh, and thinking of them being in veggies and then putting that on a burger. I mean, that is gross, but
I'm still eating.
The show must go on, you know? I get the mentality of like, well, people want to eat burgers, so let's keep it going, you know? People want food. What they know, and also, at least they never let the roaches get into the lobby.
Why am I, like, not that surprised, though? Like, I feel like I'm, like, numb to everything or something.
I know, I think it's because everyone with fast food, everyone's always heard these gross stories. Like, back in high school, and people in high school worked at the fast food places, they would always say, oh, everyone jizzes in the sour cream and stuff, you know?
I know, I just, like have
urban
accepted.
legend.
I eat shit on the daily, I eat jizz on the daily. I probably eat your mama's pussy on the daily. I thought that was so funny in my head. It was my second day at Albi's. And they put in quotations, yeah, I know. like
Arby's is like so random that I get why they had to put that.
I know, because you kind of expect it to be gross.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones you never think about.
My manager had me close that day, which also meant that I had to restock all the ingredients and meats that we had out. A few hours into my shift passed until I decided to start restocking. Then I noticed that some of the meat that was out, specifically the meat that looked like most like ham, never really figured out what it was, had some holes on it, like small holes around the edges or just on random places in the middle. I deadass got so shocked when I picked it out, but then I also saw that that wasn't the only meat that had that on it. It feels like I'm like illiterate or something, am I?
Oh no, I'm just like following the story, like there's holes in all the meat? What?
This was the meat we had to solve, in caps. I started panicking and looking around the place. Then I saw a rat. The rat! I spent like an hour trying to make it go outside far away enough for me to be sure that the violation that could have happened that evening. But thankfully we didn't have any customers, and the ones that showed up just ended up getting those cauliflowers and a drink. I ended up quitting later because I was traumatized and emailed my manager about the incident the next day. In conclusion, Albi sucks. But, like, no one's ever at Albi's, you know? So, like, it's not even gross, though, being rats in it, because it's, like, Oh, but no one's eating it, so it doesn't matter.
Wait, so what happened? Rabbits ate little holes in the meat? Is that what happened?
Rats did.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Pretty gross.
You're trying to defend it. But you actually have to come clean. And when we lived in LA, there was one Arby's in the area we lived in, and you went there like 3 times.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You always wanted Arby's.
I mean, Arby's is so good. I think I just get too persuaded by the public's opinion. I will admit that.
Mm-hmm. So when I was working at Burger King, they gave the location. A girl went in the bathroom and cleaned it with her bare hands, and then proceeded to make the customers food without washing her hands.
No, this is when it reaches a limit where I'm actually grossed out. I don't know why this triggers me, but it actually grosses me out.
So be careful if you ever go to Burger King. And we can't even just say Burger King. That happened. The thing is, whenever you go out to eat, you're putting your trust in their hands. That could be happening at the Cheesecake Factory. It could happen anywhere.
And this wasn't...
It could be happening at Nobu. Cleaning out a toilet and making food. It's like, just wash your hands.
It takes so much time.
Which I do get.
Because there's been so many times where I just feel impatient. I feel like I'm in a rush when I'm not in a rush. I'm joking. I always do wash my hands after going
It's so funny, like, they didn't
shit.
even put on gloves. Like, that was also too much work. But you know, they might have been on having a bad day.
So one time I worked at McDonald's. You don't have to name any names. Well, I already did, so. This couple came into the restaurant and the wife/girlfriend asked to go to the bathroom, so I directed her and she said no. I want a little box, and we said we didn't have one, so she shit on the floor. Let's just say that was my last day there. I'm glad this doesn't have to do with the food. Like, I'm not grossed out eating this because it doesn't have to do with the food.
I'm just confused. So she was grossed out by the bathroom, or she just didn't want to go in the bathroom?
She wanted a little box, and I do understand it because aren't a lot of people nowadays, they consider themselves animals? Like, isn't there a person that is a dog?
Oh, there is that girl who's a dog.
And I'm not
She's
here,
so hot.
And I'm not here to intrude on their fantasy, you know?
That's true. So she was just trying to live like a fantasy.
But
was she scared of the bathroom or what? I'm so confused. Or was she just literally being a troll? Do you get arrested if you do that?
I feel like if you shit on the floor of a bathroom.
I hope there's a law. Shout out to the douchebags. Okay, so I used to work at McDonald's when I was like 16. And it was a hot day in the summer, so everyone was ordering ice cream and whatnot. Anyways, one of my nice managers, insert Midwest name here. What's a Midwest name?
Gerald.
Gerald spilled a gallon of ice cream mix all over the ice cream machine. This wasn't too uncommon, as the machine was always covered in disgusting, dry, crusty ice cream mix. I was taking orders and not really paying attention, but from the corner of my eye, I saw her take a sanitizer rag out of a bucket from below the counter and wipe the ice cream mix back inside the machine off the greasy, crusty metal dripping with sanitizer bucket water. Never again ordered McDonald's ice cream again. Also, hi Jacob, if you want to be besties, my Insta is blank.
I don't know if I want to be besties because they went sewn up.
At this McDonald's location, there was crusties inside the ice cream machine.
I've always kind of thought fast food ice cream is a little bit gross, even though I do eat it. Just because, like, I always picture, like, someone, like, putting their hands in it and stuff. And then, yeah.
Isn't it a fact that, like, on soda machines, like, there's more fecal matter on there than, like, a toilet?
Are you joking?
I'm kidding, but probably.
Well, all on our phones, then we touch, like, all this shit. Like, there's poop everywhere. Me and my friend were throwing pickles at each other during work, and he threw one directly into the mac and cheese I was trying to solve. So if you went to Chick-fil-A last month and found a pickle on your mac and cheese, sorry, X.
That one's cute.
Please don't sue me, I don't work there anymore.
No, what I was thinking while listening to that is, pickles and macaroni sounds good. Why don't people try that?
Oh yeah, because they're both, like, salty.
Mm-hmm.
This one, is in the category of just, like, I'm just gonna say, there's been so many times where I'm at a fast food place and they mix shit up. If I found pickles in my mac and cheese, I honestly would be kind of excited. I mean, it's kind of gross that you guys were literally touching the pickle, but you gotta live with that. If I worked at Chick-fil-A, I'd want to have fun too.
I didn't think they would allow this type of behavior at Chick-fil-A.
I know, everyone seems so, like, prim and proper saying, what the F did they say again?
My pleasure.
My pleasure, like, I know.
They are, like, I feel like if you work at Chick-fil-A, like, you have to take it seriously.
Do you think people do, like, that's actually gross. Is they Chick-fil-A porn? Say, like, my pleasure.
There probably is, I bet you. I worked at Subway when I was 15. 4 years ago, and I would usually be scheduled to work alone on my shifts. I would get hungry at times, so I would eat hella steak and cheese sandwiches, but these destroyed me. A customer walked in while I was in the employee bathroom one shift, and I felt like absolute trash. I went to prepare their sandwich, but the sight of the food made me gag, and I threw up on the customer's sandwich and the substation. I was fired, so I stole the sub or an apron, and I go as a Subway worker for Halloween parties now. Love you, Jacob and Lucas.
Thank you.
I understand why you were fired, because if you threw up on the substation, that is so much, that's everything.
Oh, you're like, all the food's ruined, I'm guessing.
I know, and like, ew. The steak sandwiches destroyed her like she had diarrhea?
Yeah, she had like shit every
day. But she
guess.
continued to eat them. I love when like something tastes that good where you're like, these destroy me, like they're so bad, but like they're so good that
I'm trying to think of what like when that happens to me. Oh, Dairy Queen Blizzards. They do like kind of make me feel absolutely disgusting.
They make you feel like shit.
They're fucking good.
It's worth it sometimes to feel like shit.
This story doesn't gross me out though because they well, sorry that you got fired, but like they didn't. You know, I honestly thought you were gonna say someone ate the puke sandwich, and I was gonna be like, that's actually like you should actually be in prison, like tied up.
Why do you think she got? Why do you think she got fired though? Because it's like you could have puked somewhere else. You know, is that why?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because when you get down to it, why did she?
Because it's not her fault.
Justice for whoever this is.
It's not her fault she threw up, but I think I kind of get why she got fired because you can take the effort to not puke on the sandwich, you know?
I guess it's kind of like, let's say I'm at Lucas's house, and I shit on his couch. If Lucas said, like, don't sit on my couch anymore, I'd understand it, 'cause it's like, couldn't you at least shit on the hardwood floor?
Yeah, literally.
True story. I worked at a local restaurant in my town of Wisconsin with a lady in her mid-30s. She would do coke, in parentheses, the drug, on her shift because she would get super busy if any one of our customers was rude to her. Okay, I got mixed up, but basically she would spit in their food, not always, but she did a couple of times if they were rude. No, I didn't see it, but she would tell me she did. And no, I didn't snitch on her because it was my first job at the time and I regret not telling the boss. Okay, before we even get into this, I actually don't even think you're a bad person for not snitching. She was also two-faced. And you said, yeah, keep it anonymous, we have. I mean, I've always had the idea in my mind of be nice to people, just in general, because it's nice, it's good to be nice to people. But then also, like, if you're mean to people that, like, work at a restaurant or fast food place, like, there's a chance of them, like, actually, like, opening up their mouth or their butthole and doing something.
I know, like, you're getting a shit poop. And I understand why you didn't tell on her, because I'm assuming you were, like, 15 in this story. I would be scared of a coke person. I'm like, I don't want her to get mad at me and, like, coke fight me.
Even now, I'd be scared.
I know, like, a coke punch.
I don't even know what that's like.
I'm neither, but I don't want to know. I don't want to learn.
You agree with me, right? Like, if you're mean to someone, they might spit in your food.
Oh, for sure. That's
and
for sure, I think.
I do think it's, like, bad, but at the same time, I understand them.
Yeah, for some reason, I have a theory that, like, spitting in food at these fast food places, I feel like it is honestly so rare. Because, you know, she said she never saw it. I almost feel like the Coke girl was lying. You know, for clout in the back room, saying, oh, I'm done with these people, I'm like, ruining their food, but she was even too scared.
Yeah, because we live in a day and age where anything will give you clout. If I walk at Chuck E. Cheese, and I say, I went in the bathroom, and I put my butthole against the wall. I bet at that Chuck E. Cheese, everyone's gonna be like, he's the guy that did that, and he's so cool.
Oh yeah, I'd be like your little claim to fame, you know? With the coworkers. Also, in this day and age, unless you're in a small business, isn't everything videotaped? So like, hopefully somebody is making sure people aren't doing that shit. Then again, they aren't watching every second.
I know, because like, yes, it's videotaped to scale people, but like, no one's gonna figure out.
Oh yeah, it's most likely fake cameras. Working in the kitchen and had just grabbed raw breaded chicken and dropped it in the fryer. It was slimy and stuff. Then had to rip apart a head of lettuce for a taco salad with my hands. I started washing up my hands.
I don't know what it is, but people using their bare hands is disgusting.
I know, even if they washed them.
Meanwhile, I'm like, have one bite left in my quarter pounder.
I started washing off my hands and the manager scolded me and said, we don't have time for that. And tossed the hard, crusty rag next to the grill at me so I could wipe some of the flour.
He's an asshole.
And chicken slime off my hands and then rip up the lettuce. The rag was probably worse than the raw chicken. Also, this place, they had a salad bar. At night when you cleaned the salad bar, you took a rag and wiped off food from the inside of the container so it looks cleaner, and then put plastic wrap over it to go in the cooler. Next morning, they take out those used containers and just Top them up with more food. Bottom is only cleaned out once a week, I was told. Never actually saw it cleaned. Don't worry, the health inspector came regularly, and we were always told about it in advance. So we could put the things that aren't allowed in. So we could put away the things that aren't allowed in food code. The inspector was friends with the owner. Didn't really inspect much.
Where was that? Or we don't know.
They didn't say.
So basically, this is just a salmonella restaurant.
Yeah, it's like touching raw chicken and then touching lettuce right after. And then also the salad bar, I guess, was just nasty as fuck.
I could picture so many managers being like that, though. It's kind of like what we were saying earlier at the beginning. What the fuck were we saying? There was a Texas fast food place that had like roaches in it, and I feel like so many managers would just have that attitude of like, we need to make money no matter what.
I was saying there's not time for this.
Yeah, and then everything's end up being disgusting.
But also, what I was thinking was, is it a thing where every time a food inspector comes, they tell you? Because that is so dumb. Then there's no point of even having food inspectors.
I do have an insider.
Oh my god, Spill.
So someone that I used to hang out with in high school told me they worked at a place that had blood in the title.
Oh?
And they said the health inspector would come and give them so many like tips and stuff. No, so many critiques, and then they'd come the next week and that would be their official rate.
Oh, so they would give them a chance.
Yeah, so I think they give people chances.
Oh, okay.
Restaurants, not people, I guess. I used to work at a bubble tea place in college. I was on the register and 2 French exchange girls came up to order. The girl ordering had a really heavy accent and said in a French accent, "Can we have some milk teas?" I don't even know how to do a French accent, and it might be problematic if I do anyway, so I don't know. I had to ask her to repeat the order like 3 times. Of course, I felt really embarrassed, but I finally understood that they wanted 2 mint milk teas and just laughed it off with them. I love doing that, just like not understanding someone, so you just laugh with them. I get what you're saying. So I rang them up and then went back to make the drinks. A few minutes later, I go to their table and give them the teas, and she's like, "No, we didn't order this. We wanted milk tea." Sorry, guys. I was so rude. Like, I already asked her to repeat herself so many times and still got the order wrong. But I'm telling myself, oh, it's okay, it's okay. They want malt milk tea. So I apologize and take back the nasty mint milk teas, then start making the new ones. A few minutes later, I go back and give them the malt milk teas, and she's like, "No, we didn't order this. We want milk tea." When I tell you I was sweating, I was so speechless, panicking, planning my escape. Like, how incompetent at your job can you be? I finally had to just grab a menu, and so embarrassed, I asked her to point out what she wanted. I'm not joking. She pointed at the original milk tea and looked me straight in the eye and said, "We want 2 milk teas." And I never saw them again.
Which is the one that she originally got?
No, they just wanted plain milk tea, but she thought they wanted like a flavor in it. This honestly sounds horrifying to me.
I know.
Getting someone's order, giving it to them, they say no. Getting a new order, giving it to them, they say no again. There's been situations like this where you honestly feel like you might need to like press the evacuate button on life. And I'm not saying like suicide, I'm just saying like those moments like this, you know?
I know. Like, that is when like, I would be tempted to just leave. Just say, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then just never come back. Block every coworker, change phone numbers. At least the people weren't rude. Because when they started getting mad, you know, like some people get like so outraged so fast.
Whenever I'm on Reddit, I see stories of like people being like, "I want this, you didn't make it right," and like, I don't even work in the service industry, but like entitled people, they need to be stopped.
I know. I swear there's some people walking around who like at the flip of a switch, like they turn into such a mad person. It's like, oh my god, like work through it in your own time.
I know. I just think like, part of me wants to create a support group and be like, I guess I'll help you guys, even though I don't even know what to do.
It's like you aren't even mad about the current situation. You're just like mad about all this other stuff.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so we need to figure out the root of the problem.
I know.
I'm not a therapist, but I feel like I could help these people. Okay, so like, did your wife divorce you? Did this not happen? Like, what did your dream not happen?
Do you not know how to make like your girlfriend climax, so like you're mad at the world. It's like just like
Yeah.
someone can teach you. I can't, but like there's videos you could watch, like you'd be able to fix it.
Yeah, maybe you could actually listen to her and she'll teach you how to
Yeah,
climax.
but instead they take it out on these fast food workers.
And they don't listen to the goal when they say, like, this is how you make it climax. Like, click
I
this,
know.
click this. I don't know how the fuck it works, but...
The awkward moment when you're done with your food before your friend. The awkward moment when you're done with your food but you're still not full. My name is Veronica, and I worked at Subway for 5 years. Once me and my boyfriend, ex now, oh my gosh, tell us what happened. We're working the same shift. Long story short, we had a quickie in the back of Subway. I'm pretty sure some of the lettuce that day was a bit slimy, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Girl, you didn't bang on the lettuce, did you?
Okay. This one isn't real. Because
I
if
know, it
it's
gives
real,
off fake vibes.
Yeah, because they are going in depth, and it kind of feels like they just wanted, like, oh, like, it sounds fun lying in this Google form, so I'm just gonna lie.
And it's also funny because, okay, do you want to do a quickie with your boyfriend at Subway? Fine, I guess. But, like, do you have to do it on the lettuce? There has
No.
to be a chair, a table, something that isn't food. Like, so you purposely banged on the lettuce just for the clout?
Yeah, like, if I walked there and I wanted to bang someone, so it's like, I would actually never do this, but, just because it's not my vibe. But, I just, like, go to the bathroom.
I know, it's like, you have picked to do it on the food. And then you just say it's a little bit slimy, but who cares? It's like, you're a disgusting little vag girl.
But also, if this is real, I, like, love your vibe deep down, because having sex at Subway is like a vibe.
You know, as a vag person.
I shit in the chicken nuggets.
Okay. Prison.
It was my first day taking orders on drive-thru, and a lady comes and orders a thick shake. What the fuck's a thick shake?
Those hurt your throat.
I know, there's like certain milkshakes where like it actually feels like I'm doing a workout.
Is that In-N-Out?
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, you're like sucking hard
I
and
know,
like...
and it's like, but it's not even worth it at a certain
I
point.
know, it literally hurts.
I took her money and she drove to the next window. I then hear yelling, so I ran around to the next window, and the lady is yelling at my manager, saying that she ordered 2 thick shakes. My manager said you only paid for 1, so the lady got out of her car and drenched my manager in the thick shake. My manager climbed out the window as the lady drove off and took a photo of her number plate and got her banned from the store. I was so scared to go through the drive-thru again after that.
Okay,
To
fucking
go on drive-thru to work, yeah.
pouring a milkshake on someone, it's like, do you really want your life to be a Hillary Duff movie that bad?
It goes back to entitled people also.
I know, but you know she saw that in a little Disney Channel movie one time and then I'm gonna do that. It's like, what? But also, we have to remember that there's literal true stories about people getting murdered in the fast food line because they didn't get someone the right sauce. So like,
I know. The thing about it is that people ask, why do you have anxiety? And I feel like I've only lived in this generation that I live in, but like I kind of feel like there's a reason to have anxiety about anything.
I know, it's like one wrong move and you'll literally die.
I heard a story about this, and it's a true story. So
I
then
know.
it's like,
we hear too
now-
many stories. That's the problem, I feel. This isn't really what you asked for, but for some peace of mind...
then why'd you fucking send it?
I know. But for some peace of mind, I just wanted to say I worked at McDonald's for 4 years and never seen or heard of anyone fucking with someone's food once. There's always 100 people around and so many cameras, so even if you wanted to, it's pretty impossible. Might be different in America though. I'm from Scotland. See, this is where low-key everything gets debunked. There's 100 people around, like, you can't even, like, maybe little things. Like, I believe the Coke girl spitting, because, like, you could do that secretly in a corner. But with these elaborate stories of vaginas on lettuce, like, putting stuff in your butt cheeks, like, there's not time for that, and people are gonna see. You know what I mean?
Why would you want to put something between your butt cheeks?
People are just gross. Thanks for the peace of mind, though, because we're eating McDonald's right now, so
They
I'm happy
live
to
in
know.
Scotland, though, and I feel like people are more unhinged in the U.S.
But I do think... They definitely have cameras here though, right? But like we said, no one's watching. Obviously, it's like to have one of these disgusting things happen is like 1 in a million chance, I'm guessing. You know what I mean?
Maybe 1 in 10,000.
Yeah.
This is my time to shine. I miss you, by the way. I don't know, I haven't seen you around in a while.
You can just click the video, sis.
But anyways, I'm from England and worked at a McDonald's in London. I'm joking. I worked there for around 6 months after I left high school and just wanted what I thought would be an easy manager job. But it was one of the worst traumatic experiences I've ever been through. Sorry for laughing. When I think of trauma, I just like think of a joke. so sorry. A lot of weird shit happened, but to keep it short, I'll just say the weirdest story. Two of my co-workers, let's call them Steve and Sally, were secretly dating and were the type of couple to show a lot of PDA at work. Yet our manager never really caught on, as they do it, out of her sight. But the weirdest part is that mine and their manager was Steve's mom. One night, they had finished shift and snuck out somewhere. I have this vivid memory of Steve's mom walking in on them doing the nasty behind the McFlurry machine as I was trying to take drive-thru orders. I know for a fact they never cleaned that machine too, but the saddest part is that they fired me for laughing and not Steve or Sally. Now I tell everyone their chicken is that pink slappy stuff as revenge. Okay, now this is a whole paragraph, so like, I have to believe it's true, and
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking about like the placement in American McDonald's. The McFlurry machine is usually in sight of the lobby. So like, are they really that bold to just bang right there?
I know. I just love in my head saying it's fake.
Regardless, F Steve's mom.
Oh,
First of all,
yeah,
seeing your son banging someone at work and then firing the other person for laughing, it's like, oh my god.
So you're letting your son bang at work, which is gross. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, and you're mad someone's laughing? Like, what do you want them to do? Like, be like, oh yes. Like, you're mad that they didn't find it attractive?
There would be no reaction that would be good enough for
know,
Steve's
like,
mom.
What did she want her to do?
Steven! You think it's the same Steve from that song?
Probably. Okay, Jacob and Lucas, you beautiful people. I worked at KFC. So this one customer wanted to go to the bathroom, but to go there, you have to know the code and it'll be written in the receipt. I know it's messed up, but we're not in control of that. I don't really think it's that messed up.
No.
I mean, I get, like, not wanting just random people to shit in your restaurant, you know? It's like, buy the food, and then you can shit here, you know?
When I first found out about that, I was pissed, though.
Yeah, it is annoying if you, like, are in a city. Because, like, if you're in a city where they do require codes, it is annoying if you're out and about and just have to take a quick piss.
And it's like, do I really have to buy a coffee for $4 just to take a piss?
And she didn't buy anything yet, so she had no access to the restrooms. The employees explained that to her, so she stalked one of my coworkers as they typed in the code.
I'm onto the McNuggets, by the way.
And entered the staff-only room, basically from which you have access to all of the backstage of KFC. I love calling it the backstage. So she typed in the same code and got in. Okay, attention. She pooped
You
on
can
the...
make anything seem glamorous, though, because in my head I'm picturing, like, yeah, I'm in the backstage.
I mean, I'm picturing, like the green room, like, with all the celebrities and shit. She pooped on the floor of our locker room, went into the huge refrigerator room and took some of our ingredients. I believe a bag of lettuce. Peed on the freaking table where we eat. The table hasn't switched till this day, and it won't because it's mounted to the wall. Opened our own little fridge and took one of the employees' lunch and ate it peacefully when she walked out into the dining room. What?
So this person was so pissed, they snuck into the, what did they call it?
The backstage.
The backstage of the KFC and shit on the floor?
Yeah, and pissed on a table. And then stole someone's lunch.
I full-heartedly believe this. Because I feel
Yeah.
like there is some crazy people. This is a 1 in 2 billion chance.
I mean, I guess that is so bad, but like, I just can't believe there's people out there who could do that. Like, imagine just because simply, like, you can't go into the bathroom because you need a code. It's like, first of all, the people who work here didn't make that rule. You know that, right? Like, these people, like, do they not understand? They're not the ones who put the lock on the door, the person at the cashier.
That's another thing. I'm mad for these people. Like, I don't have a example, but I swear I've seen other people get mad about at McDonald's, and they say, why'd you charge me 2 times? But it's like, you literally bought 2 of them. Like, they don't control the price.
Oh, yeah, it's like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so this happened like 6 years ago, but still haunts me. One summer, I worked at Cold Stone Creamery, and it was my first real job, and the managers were kind of flaky and rude, so they weren't around often, and when they weren't exactly happy to answer any questions employees had. Because of that, my training had been very short, which hadn't really been an issue since most of the tasks of a minimum wage Cold Stone employee are quite straightforward. While our main appeal, of course, is the ice cream, we also sold a variety of other dessert items, including cake pops. The cake pops were kept in a nice glass display case on top of a fridge. So one day a customer asked for a couple cake pops. Now, nobody has ever told me anything about said cake pops, but again, the job is pretty straightforward, so rather than ask my rude managers about it, I did the obvious thing. I got the cake pops out of the case, packed them up all nice, and hit the button literally labeled cake pop on the register Smooth sailing. But then, cue ominous music. A few weeks later, another customer was asking for a cake pop, so I went to get the case from the top of the fridge. One of my coworkers was like, oh, we only make cake pops for catering orders. The ones in the display case are just styrofoam balls dipped in chocolate? Heck! I never told a soul at work about this, and as far as I know, the person I'd given cake pops to previously never complained or even wrote a bad review. But I'm still wondering if they ate the styrofoam and just thought it was really bad cake. Oh my god! That is...
If this was me, I probably actually would just be like, I guess this is... Well, it depends on my mood. Maybe I would go back and say, this is styrofoam. But
yes, you would know, right? Or would you just think like this is just a
no,
shit dessert?
because when you eat styrofoam, it's like... when you eat styrofoam, I've never ate styrofoam, but like, it's like all like crumbly and shit.
Oh yeah, that is funny. Like, they were like really just didn't like want to cause any drama. Like, didn't call the store or anything. But you know, honest mistake, and it's your manager's fault for being rude asses. And it's just styrofoam.
Yeah, I mean, even if they did eat it, like, I don't think styrofoam's gonna kill you.
Yeah, and also calling these stores about like stuff like that doesn't really do anything. Because one time we ordered pizza and there was a piece of wood in it, a literal wood chip on the pizza. And we called the store and we're like, oh, just so you know, like there was a wood chip on the pizza, like just so you know, like
We like yelled at them and shit.
No, we just wanted to let them know, like in case somebody choked, you know, like we don't want you guys to get a lawsuit on your hands.
Yeah.
And then they promised like, oh my gosh, what's your email? Like we'll give you like some free shit. And I was like, oh, and I gave them the email. Never gave us shit. So I swear, don't even waste your time.
I'm still mad about that too.
I don't really feel that much grosser about fast food. Like, I already knew that, like, you know, sometimes shit goes down everywhere.
Yeah, okay. I actually think now looking back, the thing that I'm most surprised by is how many stories there was of insect/rat infestations. I honestly thought most of the time it would get like shut down right away. Okay, let's take a day off and clean it.
Yeah, and also there was 2 stories about customers shitting on the floor. So I don't know if that actually is common or what the deal is.
And then there was 2 stories about people fucking inside of fast food places. So that also, I mean, I'm not grossed out, but I should be, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, will I reduce my fast food intake? Nope, I'm not gonna quit. Are you? Comment below.
We're gonna go now. Eat our second meal of the day.
Thanks for sending in the stories,
Bye.
babes.